Welcome, everybody, to the Beyond Big Influence Show with Jesse Doubek. We are live here. I have an amazing guest with us here today. This guy's going to absolutely blow you away. Jacob, are you there?
Yo, what up, Jesse?
All right, what up, man? So we pulled Jacob away. He's got huge projects he's working on. We're going to go live here for the next 45 minutes to an hour. I'm going to interview him. We're going to talk about Facebook marketing, the algorithms, because Beau knows algos, right, Jacob?
Oh, man, that is cheesy, but I love it.
Yeah, me too. So Jacob's last name, if you didn't notice on the screen, it's Jacob Beau. So we're riffing off Bo Jackson there. So anyway, super excited to meet this guy. I got introduced to him from one of my best friends in the industry when I got started. Name's Jake Title. Introduced us up via LinkedIn. We just started talking, and Jacob's done some amazing things. I mean, he's worked with Facebook as a contractor doing some of their big client work. We'll talk about some of his clients. I'll actually pull up my little cheat sheet here. I mean, he's worked with people like OpenTable, Cheetos, Pottery Barn, QuickBooks, United Airlines. There's a whole bunch more, Salesforce, Uber, Eventbrite. He's done a lot of things. So he comes from you started working in like music, right? First?
I did, yeah. And that's, I gave kind of a little webinar on the Facebook ad algorithm. And that was my introduction to, kind of my background. I was living in San Francisco for a long time in the music industry. I was a producer. I kind of produced like electronic and hip hop and was a DJ as well. And so I got really connected in, and just being part of a network like that can get you really ingrained in a culture. And I made a ton of connections. I was also filming. So I started filming all the music festivals, and then I started performing at a lot of the music festivals. And so that kind of just scaled up my music production project. I got really networked in, and then I went into, I was always doing film production, but I got a job over at Eventbrite, the online ticketing platform, as one of their film producers. And that was a connection that I had in music that brought me in over there. And that kind of just put me on my path into the Silicon Valley tech world. I worked with Eventbrite for a good long while, and then made the jump over to Salesforce. It's one of these things when you know people, they just kind of take you with them if you're doing a good job. I got a job over at Salesforce as a producer and a motion graphic designer. Worked with them for a while, and then caught the right people's attention over at Facebook, and they pulled me in to Facebook as a member of their creative workshop team. And when I went into Facebook, it was just I was one of many that were doing creative ads for their bigger partner brands, like anyone from Oreo cookies to BMW or Uber to Cheetos and Pottery Barn, right? All these different brands. And it was kind of one of those things of trial by fire. If you do a good job, you're going to climb the ranks, right? And so that's what I kind of go over in, my webinar, and, this course that I'm working on with Jesse is some of the creative ideas that we came up with that were kind of my ideas while working in the Facebook creative workshop team. Just ways of advertising in different methods, right? Using the platforms that we're given. So the hot topic, right, when I was at Facebook was, Instagram stories and Facebook stories. So we were kind of creating ads that would kind of put interactivity into the ads. And that was just one example, but it was a different way of thinking about advertising at the time in 2016, 2017. So basically, while working there, they needed more of me. And said, do you have any more, motion designers and film producers like yourself? And so instead of just giving Facebook all of my contacts and connections, I quickly formed an S Corp called Concept, which is the name of my company. It's now a marketing agency. At the time, it was just a film production agency.
There's a website up there for you guys. Check it out.
Yeah, so
this guy's work is amazing. Yeah, I'll share screen. We'll show him some examples too. This guy's amazing at what he does.
Yeah, we've done a lot of, Facebook really was a launching point because I was able to bring in more and more team members now that I had an established, company that was contracted by Facebook. So I just kept bringing in more talented individuals, and they would bring us all in. We'd eat the amazing Facebook, brunch that we would have, and then we'd all disperse.
What did they feed you there?
Oh man, everything you can want. If I went back though, I went like pretty much like vegetarian and vegan and all this stuff just for sheer energy reasons.
Yeah.
So it wouldn't even be as appealing to me now, but at the time I was just scarfing. It was amazing. But then we would go off into our creative workshops, and we would work for all the biggest Fortune 500 companies, knocking out creative ideas. We did that for 3 years, and then really learned how to be a full-scale marketing agency, because they want you to know how to market, right? So the marketing team is kind of hammering their knowledge on you, saying, create, things that are going to work, and this is how the ad algorithms work. So create according to that, right? And so while working there for the course of 3 years, we started realizing how to be a marketing agency, because we're learning, within the belly of the beast, basically. And eventually it was time to strike out on our own, and kind of pivoted the company pre-pandemic, which the timing was perfect, from a film production and motion design, basically a creative agency, to a full-scale marketing agency. And then 2020 hit, and our company went through the roof, because the need for digital marketing just skyrocketed during the pandemic. Everybody was at home, locked on their cell phones and on their tablets, nothing else to do but consume, right? And companies exited the platforms because they were holding on to their marketing dollars. Well, we went hard on Facebook and Instagram and Google and YouTube. Basically went hard on the digital marketing side, and we had a wide open platform with less competition. So our clients that we were running, we were able to get them conversions for pennies on the dollars pre-pandemic, just because we knew how to work the algorithm to our favor. And we knew that right now was the time to strike, because we had a way more attentive audience and a wide open platform with no competition out there. So a lot of things came together for 2020 to skyrocket our company and do some amazing things. And we've just kind of been on that snowball ever since.
Yeah. So Jacob, we're going to get into some amazing things. I got some questions just brewing. If you guys are out there watching, some of you guys know, and especially my followers and people in my community, they know that I was like one of the top Facebook marketers in the world. I have Brian Tracy on video saying Jesse's one of the top Facebook marketers in the world. Then I was using Facebook fan pages. I was launching ads. We did the Coolest Cooler launch. We launched Brendon Burchard, did some launches with Chalene Johnson, a lot of different people out there, did consulting for John Assaraf, and did tons of stuff, right? And I work with a lot of individuals, and I spent a lot of money on Facebook ads. And I'm thinking back on it, like all the stuff that we did, and we were getting penny likes and, penny views and getting really cheap clicks and people going through the funnels. If I knew half of what this guy knew, and we're going to get into it, we're going to interview him for the next 45 minutes to an hour. And we're also going to do a webinar in 2 weeks to show you this and give you some visuals behind it and get more in depth. But I just want to get it warmed up here. But the things that he knows about how the Facebook algorithm works, nobody knows. Nobody that I've met or talked to. And, I've talked to some of the top people. I've sat down one-on-one with the Billie Jeans of the world and the Ty Lopez and listened to them. And they're trying to figure out Facebook, and their philosophy on how they do it is completely different than what Jacob has uncovered. So I'm really excited to jump in. Jacob, I know you're excited about what you're doing. You've done some amazing things. So what could you tell somebody out there? And, I've done a lot of ads for different clients. I've had different people on my team that are running ads. I've ran ads myself. I've done a lot of things there. Now, when we were running ads, it's kind of like the awareness campaign to just get people interested and try to get the 75% watches on Facebook videos. And then you kind of move them into kind of the next campaigns and the conversions and, that process. Can you talk a little bit about how the algorithm works and the secret sauce that you've uncovered from working with Facebook, what they've told you, this is how it works. And then also what you've done to test that theory and do that. Cause a lot of people that are out there, they're skeptical. Are you sure this guy knows? So what would you say to that?
Yeah, let's see. Can I screen share, or is that a thing here?
Yeah, I think so. I know I
If
can.
not, I can just put it on this screen over here, and people can kind of just watch.
Yeah, I don't know if you have full access there. I don't know what you're seeing, but I do have access to it.
That's fine. We'll just do it here. It's not that important. But so basically, in kind of what I go over in my course and webinar, if I'm teaching people how to do this, and I'll just say, the reason I teach how to do this is because it's very complicated. And if you want to try and master this yourself, by all means, go and do it, right? If you're an agency or you're trying to run Facebook ads for clients or whatever it may be. But your average business owner might try and learn this kind of stuff and then say, hey, this is really complicated. Why don't we just hire the experts, right?
Yeah.
So
it's easy button.
Yeah, it's like, hit the easy button. So I teach it and I go over it. And a lot of times people watch these webinars and they listen to my courses and everything like that. And then they just end up contacting us at Concept and saying, hey, you guys know what you're doing. One of the benefits of what we do is since I worked at Facebook, we are able to retain a preferred partner status with them, which is really hard to get. I think you got to spend like millions of dollars every single month to get to that point. We got that just by exiting out of Facebook and keeping our partnership. So what that gives us is we get access to the Facebook marketing team 3 times a week. And so, we got a big leg up on all of this stuff. So if we bring a client in, we can just, bring them directly into Facebook with their internal marketing team. And, things like iOS 14 and the tracking, that didn't affect us. It actually helped us because everybody else gets wiped off the platform because they can't get the tracking. Well, who's left standing? The agencies who are still preferred partnerships with Facebook. We did great because of iOS 14, and we were able to get our clients, amazing results, better results because we had less competition out there. So with that said, that's one of the reasons why we're really successful as an agency is because we have that partnership with Facebook. But as far as like the ad algorithm goes, basically what I go over in this is it says this guy is about to see an ad, right? And so it actually works like an auction. I don't know if people see like the Social Dilemma or anything like that, but people might know.
Hey, yeah.
Right?
We watched a lot of that stuff where they're actually like manipulating your decision making and not reacting to what you actually want, but they're influencing your decision, right? And that was like the
and they're
scary
timing
thing
it to
in
when
the Netflix show.
they know your schedule and your buying habits and all this stuff, right?
And they're trying to move you into patterns, and manipulate
it's
your
super
mindset.
Big Brother stuff, but it's real, and that's how it really works. And, it's love it or hate it or love it. That's just how it all works. So it's totally creepy Big Brother stuff, but that's the name of the game, right? If you understand it, you can leverage it to your advantage. So the basic idea is that it actually is an auction, right? But like, let's say Google PPC. If you're running ads on Google PPC, it's kind of a pay to play, right? You pay to be to get your bid up there, to show your advertisement to whoever's searching you out. And the more money you pay, the higher chances that you are to win that space to show your ad to that particular user, right? Whoever's searching you out. Yeah. Now, Facebook works differently. They have a much smarter algorithm as far as the ads go. And what they're doing instead is it's not just the pay to play. It is taking into account multiple factors, and we kind of list it out here. I don't know if people can see this or not, but
we can't really see it, but you go ahead.
Okay. Yeah, so basically,
just talk about it. We're going to do a webinar to show it. So
gotcha. Okay, so I'll just go through it. Basically, it's a combination of things that is how the ad algorithm works. They're not only looking at budget. What Facebook wants, and they prioritize more than making money, is a positive user interaction on their platform. Because obviously, if people are feeling like they're getting inundated with ads, and not only ads, but irrelevant ads, they're not going to have users to push ads to anymore, right? Because people, let's say you're bald and you're getting ads for Pantene Pro V, hair shampoo. You're going to find that very irrelevant. And you're going to, think, oh, I don't want all these advertisements, right? But if they have the tracking on you and they know that you're, in whatever industry, sports industry, or, for me, I get hit up with, marketing courses or even film production things, or you know what I really love is like lens stuff for iPhones, right? Moment lenses hits me all the time, you know, and that kind of stuff is really appealing to me. And I buy because I would have never known about moment lenses, but because they have me pegged, they know what I want. And they actually, you know, the tracking isn't bad. I'd rather opt into their tracking than opt out of it, because I don't want, you know, mustache wax. I want moment lenses. So the more they know you, the better value they're going to give to you, right? And the advertisers need to take this into account, because they need to provide value on the platform, because that's what Facebook prioritizes over the money that you're willing to spend. So it's a combination of things like what is your advertiser bid, right? So what is the money that you're willing to spend to get these ads in front of your target audience, right? And then they also take into account what they call their estimated action rates. And that is how likely are you to get conversions with the offer that you're putting in place. So if you are putting great ads out there and you're spending a lot of money, but nobody wants the product you're selling, and that could be because your targeting is off, or it could be because, you know, there's a break in your sales funnel. Maybe maybe your landing page takes 10 seconds to load, right? Or what we see a lot is, let's say you have a company that's like a lifestyle outdoor brand company, and they're selling boots, right? And you say, I want these boots, and you click on the ad to get those boots, and it takes you to their homepage. Not a landing page designed to sell those boots, but a homepage talking about healthy living and lifestyle. And here's a whole mismatch of products that you can choose from, right? So what's the user going to do while they're, where's the boots? I've got 15 seconds while I'm in an Uber on a train, right? Or whatever it may be, or my kid's crying. So you're going to get a big bounce rate because of things like that. So you have to look at every aspect of it. And that's why sales funnels are so important, because your whole sales funnel it's as weak as the weakest link in the chain, right? And that could be the money you're willing to spend. It could be how well you designed out your landing pages, or what is your offer. There's many things that have to come together that Facebook is looking at, and how well are you going to convert, because that's what they find valuable, right? If they know, because they track off platform too. And if they see that you are converting, you know, let's say 100% of people that are coming through, they're actually hitting your landing page and taking the action to spend money and become a conversion and hit whatever destination page you set in place, a thank you page, right? If you have 100%, they are going to give you a great estimated action rate score, meaning you can spend less money to get in front and win the ad auction, right? Yeah. And then there's another factor too called user value that they prioritize heavily. And this is how much engagement and how positive are your ads working on their platform. And this is where it comes in that not even well-produced like cinematic, but just really engaging ads are going to do so much better than, you know, maybe some crappy, you know, selfie ad that you didn't put any time or thought into. If people aren't engaging with that and giving positive interactions with it, commenting on it, all these things, if they're actually, you know, giving thumbs down or blocking it, that's going to really affect your user value, right? So it's a combination and a balancing act between multiple factors that make up your total value score. And if you can prioritize things like your sales funnel and the whole process and really solid creative ads that are engaging and getting a high user value score, well, what happens is you can spend way less, because you don't have to pump a bunch of money into crappy ads and a crappy sales funnel to balance this whole thing out, right? Because one way or another, you got to somehow get your total value score up. Now, what we tell our clients is, look, you're going to spend the money either way. If you want to cut corners and produce really crappy creative content, well, what's going to happen? You're going to have to spend a ton of money to get that crappy creative content to work on the platform. So you might as well invest up front in a well-dialed strategy and a sales funnel and good creative content. because you're going to save more money on the length of the campaign. Let's say you run for 6 months, you're going to be way better off because you're going to get conversions, at half the price than if you tried to cut corners up front. And so that's what we kind of work with our clients on and let them know that, cutting corners on this stuff it's not beneficial in the end. You're actually going to, you're going to get worse ROI in the end. And it takes a little bit of education to get people to understand what we're talking about. And, it helps that we worked at Facebook because we really do know what we're talking about. And that's just kind of some social proof that, helps convince them to trust us. We are here to save you money and get the best results. We want to maximize your ROI because if we can't do that and we can't get you amazing results, then we're not in business anymore. So I think that's why we've had a lot of success because we know these things.
Okay. Yeah, that's awesome. I mean, that's a lot of good stuff there. And, it's geek speak in some ways, we're geeks. We talk about all this nerd stuff and how to do marketing. We're going to do a webinar. We're going to break this all down for you guys. I know, he wants to show screen and show examples, and, I'm going to show you some of his work and what he's doing. So Jacob, I know there's a lot of people saying the ad costs are going up. The ad costs are going up. The ad costs are going up. When they're making these updates, when the ad costs go up, are they going up for you when everybody's saying that? Or is it just like,
No.
are they go? Yeah, because you're triggering the algorithms, you're avoiding that, right? And it's going up for a lot of people that are. How are they running ads? Their costs are going up. What are some of the mistakes? Is that something you're aware of, or you just know what to do so you don't make those mistakes? But do you know what the mistakes are that most people are making? And you could talk about that, because I think if you point that out, then people can say, oh, well, I'm going to avoid that. And then, let's talk about, some of the mistakes and then what to do instead to avoid some of those things.
Yeah. And one of the biggest mistakes that we point to is, well, one, like I mentioned, cutting corners and kicking out stock image creative, right? Like if Facebook sees that you're doing what everybody else is doing, they're not going to prioritize that. They're going to give you a bad estimated action rate, bad user score, which is going to affect your total value score. So the ad prices go up because you have a less total value score. So you need to increase the budget to get it to a point where you can start winning the ad auctions. So they're going to charge you a lot more. That's one reason right there. A second reason.
Hold on. I'm going to stop you there. So what about stock videos and stuff from like Shutterstock in the actual video? Does that matter? Like the stock in the video, or just stock images?
Yeah, the stock video, if people see that it's a cheesy ad, and like there's some stock videos that everybody's seen a million times, right? Yeah. And people try and take the shortcut by buying one clip, on their Shutterstock account and throwing some motion graphics over it and calling that a day, right? But that's not going to convert. That people aren't going to be interested. I mean, you just got to think about it from people's points of view. Would you be interested in seeing that same stock footage ad, and clicking on it and going to staples.com? Probably not, right? And so everybody else thinks that way too. So it's not necessarily that it's that stock. It's that it's just a low performing ad, and people see that stuff, and then that affects the total value score, which then makes you spend more money to get that to convert. And I'm not saying all stock footage is bad, but you have to think of those things, that if you want to try and cut corners and, think of the other person on the other side, are they going to find that relevant, right? If I could go out and find a stock footage ad of like, or a video of like a cookie, and try and advertise for Oreos. Or we could shoot it with like a phantom camera at like super high frame rates, dunking into the milk and splashing up and making something awesome that feels like satisfying for the end user, right? People will like that, and they'll watch that, all the way through, which will give you a through play, upping your total value score, right? As opposed to like some crappy stock image that people are just going to thumb right past. And if everybody thumbs right past it, Facebook's going to know that you're not offering value on their platform. And I'm not saying that stock image can't work at all. It definitely can. You just got to be creative.
So on top, so the stock thing, like, because I saw some of your things that you were doing. You had like the spider, like doing some stuff. You had like the blood running off the person. Like there's like some really cool engaging grabbers. So instead of stock, like what can you do to like be creative that the average person can do? Because they're probably over there like deer in the headlights. Well, I don't know what to do, right?
Well, that's a great thing you brought up, because one of the things that I open up with in the ebook that we're producing is we go and we use stock image. And this is what I open up with about the project that we did with OpenTable, right? And it's all built off stock image and motion graphics. But just because we use stock doesn't mean it wasn't effective. What the idea of it was to use the stories platform and knowing how the UI and the UX works with stories. And we knew that when you tap on a story, it instantly flips to the next story in the sequence, right? So we built out a system of 3 video ads in a row that all looked like each other. And you never saw when it switched and when it didn't, right? And we did this all with stock. And so the idea was to, this will help just there. I don't know if people want to see that, but that might help. The idea was to build out, this will help me kind of know what I'm talking about too. Using stock image, we built out a gamified version of an ad, interactivity, right? Yeah. And we basically said, where do you want to dine next? Tap wherever, tap on the screen right here to play the game, right? So people are like, a game on ads? What are you talking about? You tap, and what happens is it flips instantly to the next sequence or the next video in the sequence, right? Seamlessly. So it feels like you tapped and made it do what you're trying to do. And then all of a sudden, what happens is, as you can see in this video here, I don't know if you can see that, but
can't really see it, but
it's flipping through like tons of different stock cuisines, right? And it's in motion graphics, and it's just like bing, bing, bing. It's just tons of different, beautiful imagery of food. Looks very mouthwatering.
But it's going really fast. So when you tap on it, then it goes to the last one.
So you tap on it. It says tap on the screen where you will be dining next, and you think you're going to tap at random where like it's a game, right? So you tap somewhere, you time it and you tap, and you think you tapped on tacos, but really what happened when you tapped, it flipped to the next scene without showing you that it flipped. And it looked like you tapped on tacos, but really that was the third sequence in the video ads, right? So what happens in that one, it shows those tacos for 2 seconds, and then it says, something like, and this is for OpenTable, so it makes sense for them. It says, yeah, you landed on tacos, right? Swipe up to book your reservation. And then you swipe up and it takes you to their reservation landing page for that taco ad, right? For that taco shop or whatever it is, right? Now the whole ad sequence was meant to take you specifically to that taco shop. That was the whole point of it, right?
Okay.
But so we used image to get them to that point, and that ad crushed it for OpenTable. That sequence of ads absolutely crushed it, and that was using stock image and motion graphics. But it wasn't just throwing up stock image and calling it a day. It was being creative about it.
So to gamify the ad, the first sequence was what?
The first sequence said it was saying, don't know what to eat. Boom, OpenTable can help.
So you tap on that, and then it goes to the next thing where the image, the food is going like, what should I eat? And then you tap on it, and then the third sequence was like the tacos, but it looked like it just stopped, and it landed on tacos, but it really just stopped the thing going from thing to thing to thing to thing. And then the next thing was that. So it was like, don't know what to eat, click, okay, now, and then click, and then it stops, goes to the next thing. So yeah, you could probably come up with a creative way to do that for anything. And that's like a way more interactive, better user experience.
And you just have to know
running like, where do you want to go to eat? And then it's like a stock image of like food. Where do you want to go to eat? Go here, because it's amazing. Like, this is a really cool way to do it. I mean, it's more work to do it. We
did the same thing for United Airlines. We went into another creative workshop with United Airlines, and they thought we were geniuses because on the fly, we already did this OpenTable. So they said, we need a creative way to sell these tickets to Maui during the winter, right? We have these discounted tickets. How do we sell this? And then, my idea instantly out of nowhere was like, what if we get these stock images of places around the world, like kind of the spin the globe and slam your finger on it where you stop, that's where you're traveling next, right? Same exact thing. United Airlines says, where are you traveling this winter, right? Tap to play to find out. And now it's like, all these beautiful destinations around the world. Boom, 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 boom. And then you go tap, Well, lo and behold, right when you tap, it flips and it lands on Maui, right? Which is exactly the ad. They already know that you're looking at Maui. You've probably already Googled Maui. You've interacted with some Hawaiian stuff. They know who to target, right? So they put this ad sequence in front of you, and at random, it's not random at all, but it feels random, and it feels like fate. Wow! And then you got somebody saying, "Wow, look, honey, I played the game and it told me to go to Maui just like we were thinking. What's the odds of that?" Right?
Yeah.
and maybe people know that it's rigged. I'm sure people get it figured out or whatever. But that's not the point. The point is that it's a creative way of driving engagement and getting your user value, your total user value through the roof, right? Because now you've engaged with every step in the sequence, and now they're getting their discounted Maui tickets, and the ads are crushing it at lower costs because their user value is so high because everybody's enjoying this and playing, the interactive game, and they're driving, their sales to Maui, and they're selling out. So United Airlines did great with that ad campaign too. And that was all done with stock image, but it wasn't just throwing up a stock image and calling it a day. It was being intentional and having a creative concept that's going to work. And that's what I mean by, not going stock or whatever. You just have to have creative ideas, and that's what it takes.
Okay, so I'm working on an ad or something like for this fantasy sports company, right? So there's different players that you can select. So I could potentially do the same concept with who am I going to pick? Tom Brady, Patrick Mahomes, this, that, whatever, and we scroll through all the different ones, and they tap, and then it's who should I pick or what team should I bet on today or whatever, and you just scroll through the teams and then do it. That would be a cool, engaging ad. And DraftKings isn't doing it. All the main ones, Prize Picks and all these other companies, right? That would be a cool thing, right? Just thinking on the fly, I'm a genius now.
You show that for your client. You do that for your client, and you come up with that on the fly. They're going to be like, "Wow, Jesse is just he's thinking in 3022." How is he coming up with this kind of stuff? And and that's why we did good at Facebook, just because we kind of just kept it rolling and just kept new creative ideas and pitched the same idea over to Uber that we did for Cheetos and vice versa. And then all of a sudden everyone's like, wow, these guys are geniuses. They've cracked the code.
So how many other golden nugget ideas do you have besides that? Or is there any other ones that come to mind? Or is that the main template that you kind of use?
For creative ads, I mean, I know this isn't really working with showcasing it here, but when we do actual webinar or whatever, we did one, I think it's here. Yeah, so will this actually work? Let's just blow this up. So we have this gal, bring to front. So this was one we did for a network marketing company called Color Street Nails. Now, at the time, this is 2020, and my sister was, I did this as a favor for her just because she was struggling to make sales, on these nails that are actually pretty cool, but you press them on, right, and you rip them off, and then you have nail polish on your fingers. And during 2020, nobody could go to the salons anymore, right? Because of COVID. So she had a great opportunity. So she dove into this. She's meeting at Pete's Coffee and Starbucks Coffee with these, soccer moms and saying showing her book and everything like that. And, getting sales and kind of squeaking by, right? And so she told me about what she's doing because, she's like, hey, you're an entrepreneur. What do you think of this business? And I said, we can crush it. Put the books away. Stop going to Starbucks. Here's a better idea. Here's what we're going to do. We're going to take over the whole, Facebook ad ecosystem with this idea because this will crush it during 2020. But you need to stop going to the Starbucks and Pete's Coffee. We need to get this out worldwide. Now, this wasn't, it was a gray area for network marketing. I realized that, but we didn't care. We want to be first ones to do it. So I created a series of ads for her. And this is another creative concept that worked really well. And on this one, I don't know if you can see it, but there's another stuff.
Yeah, we can't see it. People are saying, can you show the screen? Because I really want to see it. Guys, everybody out there listening, if you're watching this, the replay, we're going to do a webinar in 2 weeks, and we're going to show screen. We're going to show you all this stuff. I just wanted to get Jacob in front of the audience and just introduce him because we've been doing a lot of calls. We're partnering up on some cool stuff, and we're going to be launching it over the next couple weeks and beyond. So we're going to help you guys out tremendously. So sorry about that because they can't really see your screen, but maybe if you, there you go.
I mean, that kind of helps.
Yeah.
Right? It kind of
It's a little blurry. I think the connection's a little off or something, but yeah, go ahead.
Well, if it gives the idea, I mean, I'll just explain it. Basically, what we have here is we remocked up the Facebook and Instagram user interface, right? And so we used this stock image, very captivating. This was for their Halloween nails that were coming out. I think we launched this in September, right?
So you put the little like buttons and the Facebook thing on the bottom. So that's part of the actual like ad creative is like the actual Facebook looking like stuff, right?
Yep. And then what that allows us to do is, and this looks so much better on mobile, because it looks like it's totally on the platform right now. You can tell it's an ad. But when you see this on mobile and you see what happens in the ad is, one, her nails are changing between all the different nails. That was a pain in the ass to do. But we had the nails just keep showing all the new nails, the Halloween nails. But the cool part is we have like the blood is dripping down her cheek, right? And down her chin. And then it hits the actual like Facebook UI.
Yeah, and then they're like, holy crap. And they're like, they feel like they're woken up, like, am I seeing things? Am I hallucinating? And then they're just sucked into the ad, right?
Totally. And we got a spider that's crawling over the Facebook UI. So when they see this on their phone, obviously you can tell it's an ad because we're not on the platform. But when you see it on mobile and it's just, that's all you see, it looks like people
you think you have a spider on your phone. You're like, get this on my phone.
That's what everybody said. They were like, oh shit, I thought there was a spider on my phone. Or people, whatever it may be, they'll be like, oh, this is terrible because I freaked out, or oh, I love this. Yeah. Everybody
all the women love it. All the men are like laughing, but
yeah, people were loving it. It got so much engagement. My camera's all messed up. It got a ton of really great engagement, organic engagement, which is the best kind you can get. Right.
Yeah, so that's perfect right there. They can kind of see the screen and you. So.
Okay. Yeah. So yeah, this ad crushed it. But we had multiple ones of these. It wasn't just Halloween. We did. And the real tactic was we were the first to market because none of the other, it's I would say 90%, moms around 40-ish to 50 or whatever, 35 to, 55, somewhere in there. They're not mastering Facebook ads for the most part. Right? They're going to coffee shops. Like that's the majority. Yes, there's some sharks out there that are figuring this stuff out. But for the most part, unless you've got an agency willing to work with you or you want to put the time in to learn all this stuff, majority are going with the legacy way of doing it, meeting. And that's kind of the point of network marketing. You meet your personal network, right? So we wanted to kind of flip that on its head and go nationwide. And we just crushed it. We are offering these samples, get a 2-nail sample, but give us your email to get that. And we grew my sister's email list in 2 weeks. She had about 10,000 emails. We couldn't even keep up with all the demand of the samples. We kept having to order more and more and more. But after that, 2 weeks, we shut it off. We had so many people that were coming. I think it was like 9,500 or something like that.
She was selling the product, or she was recruiting or selling the product?
Both. So we built out this is why. So she went diamond status and she went through the roof. She's like one of the major players with Color Street now. Because what we did in the sales funnel was check the box. If, once you click the ad, learn more, right? After we freaked you out. Now everyone's talking about it. We're getting great engagement. Now you go to the sales funnel and now you check the box to see if you want a sample, check here. If you want to become a stylist, also check here too, right? And then submit. And now it broke it out in HubSpot, was our CRM that we use. And then she had an automated email sequencing campaign going to 2 different lists. One, here's your free, your free products on the way. Now that we got your address, we'll send that to you. Now she's got this great, person that's going to buy. And she's also growing her downline. And that's the whole point of it, right? So she onboarded just a ton of network marketers under her downline, which took her to diamond status. So she was like a total rookie at this. And in about, I'd say 4 months, she went to diamond status. And now she flies to the Bahamas. She flies to Cabo. They take her on all these crazy, exquisite trips. Like she's absolutely crushing it. And her income my brother-in-law works at Lockheed Martin, of all places. But he's an engineer, really successful guy. And now her business is like their monthly income. She's like getting up there with him now because of her status with this company. It's crazy the amount of just revenue you can drive if you have these creative ideas and you're first to market. They shut us down. They actually did end up shutting us down. They said cease and desist. Like, apparently we're not allowed to do this. And then we kind of
company, the network marketing company, or Facebook?
The network marketing company shut us down.
Yeah.
They said we were
running ads or cheating.
Yeah, they said we were cheating. But they didn't have it they did not have it in their legal documents. I read those legal documents. I had a lawyer look at them, and they said, it doesn't say that. It says, if you are going to advertise on Facebook, make sure you do X, Y, and Z. So we took that as, well, it says if you are, and we are, and we'll abide by X, Y, and Z. So we are 100% in compliance. Then what they did after months of battling back and forth is they changed the rules and then sent out this like nationwide new revised rules for advertising. And so they just basically pulled the rug out from under us. But we already did the damage at that point. She went diamond status.
Okay.
And yeah, so we kind of broke the system. That's what they teach you to do at Facebook, right? Move fast and break things. And that's what we did.
Yeah. So I don't really understand that, because if you're the network marketing company, wouldn't you want to grow exponentially fast? Like, is it going to hurt your company? Like, if you're getting more sales, just teach all the other people to start doing that. There's other companies that embrace online marketing as their main strategy. But yeah, I mean, it's really epic, what she did. Can you talk a little bit about how much it costs to acquire a customer, and how fast she was getting new customers, like with this kind of strategy? Like, how many customers a week, and then how much was it costing to acquire one? And then what was the actual like payout? Like, she's making money. So how does that work? So if somebody's out there looking at this as like something to possibly do, I mean, you're going to want to come to our webinar that we're going to do, because, if you really want to do this, you're going to have to come to that. We're going to show you how to do it. But anyway, can you speak to that a little bit, like the cost versus the upside? Like, you don't have to be super specific on how much money she's making, but, the users and listeners want to know the money side. How does that work?
And for this one, it was dirt cheap, just because we were launching basically an awareness campaign. We started with an awareness campaign, which is dirt cheap on Facebook. You're paying for clicks and you're paying for impressions, right? So we launched that first, and we did that for the first 2 weeks to gather as much data as we could.
How much a day were you spending?
I think we're spending $20 a day.
Okay, $20 a day for an awareness campaign. All right. How many people were seeing it?
Oh man.
I know I'm putting you on the spot here. You don't have to say how many people are seeing it. Okay. So you're spending $20 a day, or you're getting people to sign up already, or you have to wait till the next campaign?
We were getting people we had a great offer. What the offer was get a free sample, right? Get this little 2-pack sample. And so everybody wants, something free on social media.
Yeah.
So we were but we didn't really have a list, or we didn't really have, we were just doing broad targeting, right? Moms and, millennials and Gen X and things like that, right? That's kind of some Gen Z, but more we were trying to target people who would become stylists, right? So we didn't have targeting at first, but that's not a problem, because if you launch an awareness campaign at the top of funnel, you're basically paying for data, right? And you're paying pennies on the dollar for that data. So you want to pay for that data. You buy that data for 2 weeks, and then you take that and then you flip the campaign and you launch another one into a traffic-based campaign. And this one, we didn't even go with conversions. We didn't need to. Traffic was where we made all the money, because now we have a huge list of people that we want to target, right? We built out this big old email list. We remarketed to them with our retargeting ads, but more importantly, we built off the lookalike audiences, right? So we had these huge lookalike audiences that we could then go to, a warm-ish audience, right? So now we're more hyper-targeted in. We're spending more money because it's a traffic-based campaign, but we're hitting our target market, a much more targeted market that we're trying to get to, right? That's where we made all our money. And that's how we were able to do it, starting completely cold, because this wasn't my industry. I didn't really know who I was trying to hit. But we just bought the data and then remarketed and built lookalike audiences off of it. And she was getting conversions, like I would say conversions were coming in at about 20 cents.
Mm-hmm.
For each person who gave an email.
20 cents? Damn. Okay.
Yeah. She was crushing it, and we just took it all.
20 cents for emails, right? To get an email subscriber. And then how much for a sale about? Do you know?
No, that was for sale.
Oh, that was 20 cents to get a buyer, like of nails and like, or was
I'd
it
have
just
to go
for
into the actual numbers. Sorry. Okay. So that was the to become on her email list. I guess I don't know where she actually was. So yes, forgive me. I don't know the actual numbers of what her conversion rate was after that. Because
no worries.
But what I do know is that, and this was my metric that I was going off of, was what was her status in the company. So while I don't have that number, because it wasn't really a client, right? This is my sister, and I was kind of just messing around, trying to break the system. Once they shut me down and said you can't do this anymore, she already had a massive downline under her. Right. And so my metric
came in from the ads, right? Like you were running ads and they're signing up. How many people accumulated in their downline?
Again, I don't know. And if she was an actual client of mine, if I wasn't just kind of doing this for fun on the side, I would have monthly reports. We'd actually be tracking every single metric. Like all I knew was that we launched this thing.
No, I understand.
It was my sister. It's not an actual client. This was just me kind of goofing around. So I didn't actually follow up on all the data and analytics, but I do know that the metric that we were gauging is how you doing with the company. Oh, your silver status. Oh, your gold status now. Oh, your platinum. Oh, now your diamond status.
How long of a time period was that? How fast?
6 months, I would say. I mean, she started
6 months. She went diamond in 6 months off of one ad. And where was she? What was her trajectory before that?
We did have multiple ads running, and she started as like just brand new in 2020. And about 6.
Was she signing anybody up on her own without the ads, or was she struggling like everybody else?
A couple friends from high school or whatever, but
hitting up her warm market, and now it's cold market, and now she's got a whole bunch of people she never grew up with, or she didn't alienate all of her friends and family. And
no, it really, it brought this like really great thing because, she was in full mom mode. Nothing wrong with that. My wife's in full mom mode with our kids. Right. But, she wanted to she had to she did quit her job, and, she went into, she was working at the Marriott before as in communications and, all that stuff. But then she went into, mom mode and raising kids and everything. So she kind of got this like independence back, is what she was saying. She gained all these friends, and now she's like, kind of a high roller in this whole company. And she's like giving these speeches and stuff on how you can do this too. And I don't think she tells how she did it, right? Because I guess it's quasi, not the way to do it. But either way, it gave her more than just financial, freedom. It gave her this whole identity and this life that she just loves, and she flies around, and she used to take her family to all these, like my cousins, my kids' cousins, my nephews and nieces. They go to all these like resort vacations and stuff on Color Street's dime because of her status with this. So it did so much more than just financial gain. It opened up this whole world and lifestyle for her and her family.
Changed her life, man. Changed her stress level, what she's able to do, like open up many doors, and it really is crazy. And what you're talking about here with this, it's like, we're going into network marketing with a whole bunch of stuff that we're doing together, and there's going to be some huge opportunities. So I know people out there like asking some questions and stuff, and are interested. So we're going to be doing a webinar in a couple weeks, guys, like really breaking this down. This is an interview, so there's only so much we can show, and it's pretty technical. And we'll have an online course for it and the whole nine. So this is like, really, really exciting. So Jacob, can you talk about one campaign, just like the numbers behind it, like how much you're actually spending? And I did put it in the description of this, like, where one of your clients, you didn't even scale them past 10K a month. Like when I was working with Brendon Burchard, we had months where there was $400,000 spent in 1 month, and you're spending less than 10K, and you're like scaling clients to like numbers like 170,000 extra dollars tracked with the system a month extra from the ads. And we're not even spending $10,000. I mean, So like, can you talk about that? Like the scaling process, do you need to spend a lot of money? You know, people, some marketing agencies out there talk about, I scaled my clients to 800,000 a month and they're profitable because they're making millions, but do they even have to spend 800,000 a month, or should they be spending like 80,000 a month and still doing those same numbers? You know, like,
yeah.
Can you talk a little bit about that? Because people brag about how much they're spending, which I get, and it is impressive. Like, it is something to brag about, kind of, you know, it's
but that's
pretty,
not
like,
the metric. Right. That's not the metric.
But do you have to spend that much? Could you just be throwing that away to Facebook because you don't know how to bid and do this whole system, you know?
Yeah, well, it's interesting because so I went out with a buddy of mine who works at the Silicon Valley. He works at Y Combinator, the incubator, right? And so he's super into like tech finance and all this stuff. And he was telling me, I was telling him about this campaign that we're running. He's like, man, you got to structure these deals different, bro. Like our agency's doing good, but he's coming from like super high roller. Like this guy's like made, and he's done big things in the industry. And he's like, let me help you structure these deals because you're leaving a lot of money on the table. And this is what I was kind of talking to you about earlier was we have this deal in place with one of our clients that, okay, when you get to, $10,000 ad spend, we flip the model from, a monthly management fee to a percentage, right? Well, the problem is that's all well and good. And we've got him making, this is the one client that we went into a CRM last month, and we have 2 campaigns running. He's generating $177,500 in profit in September. So he's crushing it. We're not. We're doing all right. You're right. We're getting a management fee from that, but we're not scaling up with them. And the reason is because basically the ads and the strategies that we're running are working so well that he's not getting to that 10,000 monthly ad spend. He's spending a fraction of that because these ads are just crushing it right now. So he doesn't have to raise his ad spend unless he really wants to and go world domination and make whatever, $500K a month. They can't handle that kind of business, right? So we're finding this, like, we're capping out, and he's like, well, why would I spend more than $4,000 a month? And when I'm making, $177 a month, I'll just keep it there. So we're not even going to get any of that 10% that we were hoping for because the campaigns are doing so well. So it's just like interesting, it's a learning lesson when you start getting really good at this. And that's where my buddy from Y Combinator stepped in. He was like, you got to restructure these deals because anybody making that much money off of you, you should be getting more than, your monthly management fee that you signed 1.5 years ago.
Percentage of revenue for that one instead of rev ad spend, right?
Right. I should have done a rev share model. I wish I restructured.
If they want to scale through the roof and go to 400K, then you can get 40K at 10%. But this rev share on that, if you got 5 or 10% of that, that would be an extra 10 or so K. And what's the difference between 160 and 170? It's like
right. Yeah. So learning lesson.
Not really that much.
We signed that deal 1.5 years ago. And, that's the reason why this one, it's still lucrative. We're still doing great.
Yeah. You're still, he's not going to cancel. You got a good client. He's paying a flat fee that's
and he pays, pays hefty each month. He definitely does. But it's like, I was telling, my buddies last night that I went out with, I was like, there's a scene in that movie War Dogs with Jonah Hill, and he just landed some $50 million contract. And then he realizes he left 30 million on the table. And he's just like, I just couldn't believe it that he would leave 30 mil on the table when he just signed 50 million.
Yeah, I think it was 50 mil he left on the table, and it was
it was something like that, right?
It was like 400. It was like 300 or 400 million. The deal was, but he underbid it by 80 million or 70 million or 60 or
which
50.
Is like,
more than
peanuts compared to what he's making, and you're like, you're fine, dude. But that's how you kind of feel, and you're like, we're doing great, but
his sensible buddy. Yeah. And that's you just got to take it one step at a time. There's always different ways to do it, but then you come up with other hurdles too, right?
Yeah. You're always going to learn it. And, we've got, and we can go through the webinar. We've got another client that I could just kind of breeze through the numbers here. And I'm actually building out this.
Yeah. Just show us some of the numbers and we'll kind of wrap it up. I'll show people where they can find you and get in touch. And check out your work. But we're going to be doing a webinar together, so stay tuned. So
yeah, and then I'll actually go screen share, and you can walk through all this stuff. You can actually get an idea of what we're doing. But this was for a tech startup company. They have simplified the solution for making like crappy selfie videos for real estate agents into making professional real estate videos using their service. So it's like you subscribe to their service, and they'll do custom graphics for you and make it look super high quality, and they'll do everything for you. It's really great. So we were tasked with producing, designing their brand, doing their brand development, their sales funnel, creating their ads, and then running their whole campaigns. And this is a lot what we do in tech. We work with startups as brand building, and we take them from having an idea and maybe some venture capital into an actual company ready to roll out. So that's what we did with this company. And we shot these ads up in Palo Alto. We rented this like super baller mansion because this gal that we cast for our ads, she's supposed to be this super successful real estate agent who lives in this rad mansion, and she's only successful because she uses this platform, right? She uses their software. Yeah. So that was the idea of it. This goes into the sales funnel design. This is how we built out the sales funnel. This is kind of a little bit of strategy that we used to lead. We had 2 campaigns running for them.
So was that a carousel ad, or what is that we're looking at? I can't see really.
Multiple ads, actually. So we did. We would produce, and this is where we go into what we call our social flex. But we produce like one hero video, and then we make it in a way that chops them up into multiple social media ads. And each one of those social media ads has a different intro to talk to a different audience, and also a different call to action. So you can have 6 social media ads, but we build out what we call a digital asset library. Because what you want to do is you want to continually optimize these campaigns, and you want to read the data and see what's working, what's not, and keep introducing variation. And so you do that by filming it in a certain way that gives you a digital asset library instead of a video. So we don't sell videos, we sell a digital asset library. And that's what we did with this client. So we had multiple ads running on multiple campaigns, introducing variation, optimizing the whole time, depending on what the metrics and the data is telling us, right? Then we run to their sales funnel, and this is just a basic sales funnel right here. And then we kind of went through their 2 campaigns that they wanted to run, 2 different offers. One was to a $19.99 monthly subscription, and also they had a year subscription for $199, right? Okay. And so we cranked out the ads, and here's the numbers, and I know it's hard to see, but basically what we see here is as we were running this campaign, this was in July. So that's when I screenshotted this thing. They've been doing even better since then. But in July, campaign B generated 132 leads at $16 a lead. Campaign A generated 213 sales. These are subscription signups at $6.30 a lead, a sale, a conversion, right? So what that equals out to is campaign A was the $19 signup. And campaign A generated 213 sales at $6.33. So their profit in July on campaign A was $2,705 for campaign A. Now campaign B.
How much did they spend on that one?
They spent $1,500.
$1,500
for total for everything. So let's say $750, right? So $750,
and that one did $2,000.
That one did $2,700. So that was whatever. Okay. But the campaign B is where we really saw the great sales. And so they generated 132 sales at $16.90 per sale. So this is $199 sale. So what they got was $24,169 profit on campaign B in July. So in total, they spent $1,500 and they profited 27, so roughly $26,000.
Oh, wow. And that was to sell software, or what were they selling?
Software. Yep.
Oh, wow. Is it a monthly subscription?
It is. Yeah. Well, or they could do annual, which is $199. Is their annual
so they did that much sales, but it's recurring revenue on all of it. So it's really worth 10 times more.
Well, yeah, because these are lifetime user value. You got to factor that kind of stuff in. Yeah. So some of these people, they'll spend $1 to make $1 just to get somebody onboarded, right? If you can get somebody subscribing, like even if you're 1-to-1, that's worth it. But they're crushing it every month because of these strategies that we use. And then in the webinar we can go over, like, here's the video that we do. Here's how we produce it. Here's the story. It really comes down to scripting, right? We write these scripts that make it so easy and so simple. Like, why are you not doing this, right? And then it's a combination of, various ads and split testing ads. We have ads with like the CEO walking on with his phone being like, do you want to take your video from this garbage to this, right? And he's on the screen and he just pops into this beautiful cinematic scene, right? That one crushed it. And then we have the professional actress, and we restructured them and we reshoot them all specifically for social media too. So we have, and the idea is to hit them with these 30-second ads up front that are very engaging and fit the platform, right? And then you take them further down the sales funnel. And then now that you're invested because you've taken action and this is interesting to you, now you're willing to watch a 3-minute long video. Right. And that's where they watch the more professional, engaging, maybe a little bit of demonstration and explainer video. You're not going to hit them with that right up front on top of funnel. But once you get them into your funnel, then you can show, hey, we're the real deal. And this is how powerful this is. Now watch this 3-minute video. Now take action. And that was the process that we used to generate these kind of numbers.
Yeah, that's amazing, man. So everybody out there listening, this guy's the real deal. Make sure you go to his website. Let's pop it up there again. We're going to be doing a webinar together. Me and Jacob are talking about partnering up in a big way to launch a whole bunch of stuff, his personal brand, possibly some stuff together, possibly influencer soft, like at the next level. And we're really, really excited. So go to conceptsf.com. I'm going to go ahead and share my screen really quick, show you his website. We'll just kind of, walk through that. And this stuff that he's doing, the videos that he's making and the editing and the creativity is off the charts. And that's why the top companies hire him. He's able to work in workshops with some of the top people in the world. He's cracked the Facebook algorithm because he's learned exactly how it works with insider information inside of Facebook. So if you want like real insider information, you'll have to come to our webinar. We're going to explain how you can, tap into this for your business and start making money. If you think you got a great product or a great idea, Jacob's the real deal. Look at this, the work that he's doing. I mean, this is all video you've shot.
Yep. Those motorcycle ones, the Bell helmet ones, that aired on the 2021 Olympics on NBC. So these have been all over, commercials, ads, everywhere.
Yeah, that's pretty amazing, guys. So, I mean, when I saw this, his list of clients, I mean, this is only a small bit of it. But if you go to his website, conceptsf.com, he's got some Taylor Swift videos. Did you shoot Taylor Swift?
No, I did her, and I still do these. I do the LED background graphics for iHeartRadio. This is my throwback to my music scene, but I've done the background graphics for Justin Bieber, Chainsmokers, Taylor Swift, Britney Spears, basically Lizzo, all the big pop artists that are out there that are performing.
I'll just play a little bit of
the most anticipated event of the year.
In the big stadium, right? And then I do all the background LED graphics for these artists.
Oh, okay.
And that's my connection in the music industry.
When I play this, can you hear it, Jacob, or no?
I can hear it. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
The moments that'll be trending and leave you trembling will happen tonight.
So will happen tonight. You did though, or what did you guys do from this?
So this is an intro into basically the whole show, right? This was like a Christmas concert with, I think it was like Ed Sheeran and Taylor Swift and Logic and all these other pop artists, right? Hip hop artists and all these people. So basically our team is tasked with building out the intro, producing all of the audio and everything to intro the show. And then we do the background LED graphics that you see behind the artists.
Oh, okay.
So on those big LED panels.
Like this?
Yep.
New York?
Maybe not that one because that was from a previous show, right? But during that, so if I wanted to really showcase, so this is everything that we did, but if I wanted to showcase like the whole run of show, I would have gone there and filmed the entire thing, so when the Chainsmokers or whoever are performing, you would see that specific show, and all the LED background graphics would be our graphics.
Okay, cool. So how do I get out of here? I'm like stuck. Oh, there we go.
Yeah.
Okay. So yeah, there's a lot of cool stuff here.
Normally do that kind of stuff. That's just a cool name to put on there. I mean, that's honestly, it's not like I kind of just do it for the hell of it because I'm connected in the music scene. And I've been doing it for like 10 years now. So I keep getting hit up and they're like, do you want to do this concert and this concert? And I'm like, sure, why not? It's fun. I get to go all VIP to all the concerts. And I just kind of do it. But that's not really our industry. We're mostly like technology, startups, and things like that. But I like having Taylor Swift on my website, so it's up there.
Yeah, sounds good. So let me share one more thing with you guys so you can see this man's level of work, which is amazing. Okay. I think this is it. Okay, yeah, your reel or whatever. So is a lot of this stuff you've shot or?
Mm-hmm. Yep.
Edited the videos. This is kind of like his reel.
Mostly shot and wrote the scripts for.
So if you go to Vimeo and then it's Concept SF Media. So on Vimeo.com, Concept SF Media, you can see his reel here. And you can see his level with his team.
That was for the Comic-Con. We did those graphics. It was like AR experience. You hold your phone up.
When you start out on a career in the arts, you have no idea what you're doing. This is great.
Walk to the edge of town and go across the track.
So anyway, that's what you guys get. You'll have to go here and check out his stuff. Concept San Francisco, conceptsf.com or Concept SF Media on Vimeo, and you can kind of.
I gotta go clean up my Vimeo now.
Oh, it looks great to me, man.
I use it as like a platform. I just throw things on there for clients. I'll be like, here, test this out. What do you think? Great. And so it's just like cluttered with like a bunch of stuff, and I'll go clean that up now.
Yeah. All good. So, man, appreciate you coming on. We shared a lot, guys. We just, it's a very tip of the iceberg what we went over here. We're going to be announcing and I'm going to be promoting a webinar that we're going to do. And I'm getting attacked by a fly that was in here all day today. So we'll end it here in a second. But you guys stay tuned. We're just getting warmed up. Me and Jacob, we've been doing a series of calls the last 7 days or so. And we're looking to form something together. We'll keep you posted on that, how we can serve and support each other's groups. We focus on our funnels with Influencersoft, what we're doing. He's focusing more on the driving traffic, paid traffic, but really crushing it there. Combining the two forces, I know we could scale bigger and bigger because once the traffic comes in, creating the offer stacks, doing the things that we do, building the funnels, making the automation happen, the upsells, moving them through a value sequence, increasing lifetime customer value. And then he's the man that's going to pour the fuel on the fire, man. Just bring them in. Yep. And now we can crush. And, we're going to be doing a lot of things together to scale out, his personal brand. I'm going to help him launch. We're going to be using ads. We're going to be using all kinds of stuff. And it's just the beginning, me and him. So thanks for coming on the show, man. It was really amazing, the information. Honestly, if I didn't have, a million other things to do and I need to get something to eat and, I would literally interview you because I'm fascinated by this because I'm a geek like us.
I'll learn out on this with you for sure. I'll try not to geek talk too much, but honestly, most people geek talk.
You're good. I like it.
And so you got to learn how to decipher this kind of nerd talk if you want to tell these good stories. We do it all the time,
Yeah.
And,
He showed you some great ad creatives, like a couple different styles that, maybe they're not super simple, but we're going to show them on our webinar. You'll have to figure out how to edit like the little thing going on top of the Facebook, user interface on the mobile thing and like how that all works. There's a lot of details to it that do need to be kind of figured out. And this man is an expert, his team, he's got a great team. And, but you know, I'm here to support you guys, and we'll get you the information so you guys can launch your own version of it with your own businesses. And, yeah, I would sit here literally for 3 more hours and ask you questions, man, because I'm just fascinated by this. But I want to let you go so you can go back to your business and your family. And I know you just moved, so
busy.
And how many kids you got?
We got 2, a 6-year-old and a 3-year-old. So they are full of energy. So yeah,
so that's keeping it busy. Yeah, that's keeping you busy. So just, I guess, before we end it here, what's the last thing, you know, last statement, couple words, what do you want to leave the audience
with? I'll leave it with this, because this is a fun one. We did an ad for Tide, and we, again, used the Instagram stories platform to do this. And in Instagram stories, it uses a play bar, right? You see a play bar going like this. So you know you have 15 seconds left or whatever, 10 seconds left for this thing, right? And so what we did was we put this dirty shirt, and then we also had a clean shirt, and we composited it together. And that play bar, what the idea was like, in 15 seconds, you can go from this to this. And so you use the play bar to wipe this shirt clean, right? Yeah. So you have the dirty shirt, and the play bar is going, and you're seeing this shirt just completely clear off while the play bar is going. So it's like this, it's like in the matter of these 15 seconds, you're here to watch this. You know, some other text is popping up telling you this kind of stuff, but basically you can get crystal clear, bright white shirts in 15 seconds. Obviously we didn't say 15 seconds because it's not the truth, but the idea was there, and it's another creative way of engaging people and just having them say, that's a cool ad. And what happens is people see that and they say, Facebook gets all the credit, right? Because I was working at Facebook while doing that. But everybody says, wow, who made these ads? And they're like, oh, Facebook did. Well, really, it was us. under the umbrella of Facebook. So that's a fun one to showcase. And if we jump in the webinar, I've got so many of those kind of fun ideas. I geek out on these fun ideas left and right. So we can do, you know, a chunk of that, just showing creative concepts that convert. And I think that's what it takes, right? You have to have creative concept. You have to be creative, and you have to be, you know, you have to just be 10% better than all the noise out there to stand out. And if you can figure out a way to do that, you're going to crush the ad platform. You don't have to be revolutionary. You just got to stand out above the rest. And as Facebook says, you got to stop the thumbs from scrolling. So figure out a way to stop the thumbs from scrolling, and you're going to have successful ad campaigns, and you're going to spend less money getting higher conversions. It really does work like that. So that's what I'll leave off on.
All right, guys, you heard it from the man, Jacob Beau. Beau knows algos, algorithms, Facebook. We're going to teach you the next level on our webinar. Stay tuned. In a couple weeks, we're going to go live. Make sure you register when you see the emails go out, the social posts, and we're gonna rock your world. So we'll have all the top people. I've been sharing some of Jacob's stuff with some people, and they're like, when can we talk? Like, you know, people are getting excited. So stay tuned. And I'm really excited for what you could bring the community, man. So thanks for coming on. It was amazing.
Hey, thanks so much for having me on. I'm so appreciative that we got to link up, and I'm excited to work with you, Jesse. So I really appreciate you giving me the time to jump in here. Let's make some moves.
All right. Let's do it. Let's work together. All right. Beyond Big Influence Show with Jesse Doubek signing off. We'll see you guys again next week on Wednesday. Make sure you grab InfluencerSoft. Go to InfluencerSoft.com. You can register for free. Start playing around with the platform. We have our $1 million funnel boot camp. We got a bunch of case studies of people going through that now, launching their business, and you're next. So we'll see you guys soon. Take care.